Today's use case is virtual subject matter experts, also known as technical experts. So basically, this is the use case where you're going to use AI not as a bid writer, not as a proposal manager, but as your technical expert, your subject matter expert. And this is a use case that is very hot right now among peers because it solves a gap that historically we have had in our industry with not enough engaged as SMEs and the difficulty to get contributors to provide drafts and good quality content. So the idea is just that it's just to, instead of using the AI to support what would you would normally do as a proposal writer or proposal manager, you use it as it was your virtual expert. So this is emerging price. Like, I talk with many pros because of the newsletter, Deep RFP, and LinkedIn, and this is right now expanding. Like, many peers are starting to use AI for this task instead of the obvious ones of more bid writing and proposal management. And I see huge potential with this use case because there is the possibility to unlock many ways to manage proposals depending on the type of team you have or the contributors you have. Like, from less engaged subject matter expert to your dream team if you want. And you can use AI depending on how engaged are your technical experts. You can use it differently. So I see huge potential for improvements here. And the only thing is that it's trickier than most use cases of AI in proposals, because the hallucinations can be worse. So when you use AI for bid writing tasks, for example, you want to do some summary, getting very bad hallucinations there is very difficult because the use case is very framed and the inputs are very controlled. But when you are asking AI for technical feedback or for how to do things as a technical expert, then the hallucinations can be worse because even if the feedback is good, is reasonable, it may conflict with the way you do things internally. So keeping humans in the loop, keeping your real technical experts in the loop is very critical to reap the benefits of this use case. So, some practices that we are seeing right now are to develop first drafts. So somehow, like, you get the technical requirement and you just run AI before even talking with your real experts to get some draft that you can share with them after and sort of iterate with that. It can be more productive way of working with technical experts instead of just passing the requirement and asking them from a draft from scratch. Also, another use case or practice that peers are doing with this is iterating on solutions, sort of actually developing the technical response to that requirement, working with SMEs and proposal writers to develop the response, sort of having AI sort of inviting to the table to the AI and brainstorm with it and iterate on technical possibilities with it. And so those are some of the use cases, for sort of developing drafts, iterating with technical experts, and also developing technical proposals from scratch in those cases where you don't have the knowledge in-house or you don't have availability for those experts. But the thing with these use cases is that what we are seeing is that the practices are very broad and the imagination is the limit here, because the right question would be like, how would you do things if you have access to subject matter experts 24/7? That's the question, and then you may find some use cases and some different way of doing things for your particular case. So, and that's why I think it has so much potential. It's going to unlock value on so many different processes in bidding. Then, since this is so open-ended, like the practices are very broad, the ways to implement this approach are more flexible than normally you would do with AI in proposals. Like, say, for example, if you are using AI to edit or to summary or to develop some drafts, the use case is much more defined. In this case, is more broad. And the key inputs are, of course, the relevant instructions. This is particularly important here because what we are seeing is that the AI is going to give you responses no matter what. And so, because that's how it's designed. And so providing the relevant instructions is key. Like, don't ask a virtual SME something you wouldn't ask your technical expert. So don't ask it for doing things that you would do as a bid writer. That type of mentality, like, okay, let's deal with this particular AI tool as it was a technical expert and use relevant instructions for that technical expert. So that's very key. And I will show you an example in a minute, like what can happen if you don't do this. And then also the other input or sort of resource to do this well is to have a focus model. This is much more relevant for this use case than others, is to have a model that is focused or tuned or trained, depending on the level of customization you need, on that complex technical content, that complex knowledge. and technical knowledge. That's also key to get the most performance from these tools. So far, this is for the use case and how to approach it and sort of the theoretical approach to this use case. But before giving you some insights on how you could do this yourself and also show you some tools, let me share a bonus industry insight, because we are seeing, and you may have seen in LinkedIn and other communities online, this conversation about RFPs are suddenly asking for disclosure of, are you using AI in proposals? Are your bid writers using AI in proposals? Sort of procurement is asking, let us know if you use AI in proposals, like to write or prepare this proposal. So they are getting nervous because of that. And, there is the point of view, like this doesn't really make sense. But also what we are seeing, getting feedback from procurement and also from some other people that have more insights, is that what they are worried about, it seems that it's not like using AI for actually writing the proposal. Like they don't care if you use AI for summarizing something or to style something, to give you ideas on how to approach a section. But they are finding, they are having a hard time to differentiate, or harder time to differentiate between good and bad vendors just based on the proposal itself. Because you have now proposal teams with AI that don't have access to top level technical experts, but still they can develop very promising, very good looking solutions and descriptions of the technical solutions, and that otherwise you wouldn't be able, because you don't have that knowledge that AI is providing you. And so procurement is like having many good proposals on the table, and they are not able to see or to say which vendor is best just based on the text. Of course, this is going to vary between industries. The more complex you have the RP and the project, the more it's going to show that you didn't have access to a real technical expert. But in many contracts that are not that complex technically, this is happening. And so some peers think this is going to start a trend where procurement is going to ask for more in-person presentations and sort of live interviews for the award process. So maybe the proposal gets not so relevant in the award process, and they start value more like, okay, let me talk to your experts. Let's your real expert present how you actually plan to do this, etc. So this is the bonus industry insight I want to share. Now, regarding in how to do it yourself, like as with any use case you hear me to talk about, or you hear anyone to talk about in the industry, you can do anything with AI by yourself. That's a fact. And this means whatever AI tool you have access to, like even in consumer applications like ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot, you can do a lot with those. All times you may need to go a little bit deeper, like in terms of organizing the data and maybe sort of focusing on even fine-tuning a model. But the fact that you can do this, it doesn't mean it's easy. And so you always can select the right AI model. This is key for any use case you do. Like from the few top frontier models we have now, which are not only the ones that power ChatGPT, we have more from different companies and also open source. So you need to test those models for your particular case and see how those perform for your particular virtual technical expert. Then gather the relevant data to focus that model. Like, okay, this is here you have all the, cybersecurity knowledge I want you to have, etc. Then decide if you need to fine tune it, and if so, fine tuning it, which then it gets really technical, and maybe you need support from your IT team. Then you need to provide the right examples, design the right prompts, iterate a lot, because as with AI, as I was saying before we went live, AI in proposals is a field in discovery. Like no one has it figured out yet. And so the opportunity is huge for professionals and also for businesses. But the thing is, you need to experiment and iterate a lot to find what works through trial and error. And that takes time and focus, etc. And then once you have something viable, something working, you need to make sure the system is ready for actually your bidding process, availability, users, etc. But you can do this. Like if you want to sort of focus your virtual SME using the whatever tools you have access to, you can do that. But in order to get top performance, you're gonna need to invest some time and do some work. And I can tell you, it's an awful lot of work because it sounds like it, and it is. I know because I've been building a kit that right now has over 20 tools in proposals, and so it takes time. It takes trial and error, and to get to the top performance, you need to work on it. So the good news is that we have tools that you can sort of skip this do-it-yourself process and just benefit from the tools. And so I'm gonna show you one of those, which is part of the RFP. So let me share the tool. Okay, so this is part of the DeepRP toolkit. As I just told you, we have more than 20 tools right now that focus on specific use cases. Now we're going to see the ones that are for virtual SMEs. And the tool I'm going to show you is a tool that hasn't been sort of customized for any particular client or company. Okay, so this is sort of having a virtual expert that knows a lot about the field where it's focused, but is not going to know anything about your company or the way you do things. That's something we do with custom plans and other things. But the one that I'm going to show you today is just that. And so, very easy, as everything in DeepRP is very intuitive. Like, you just copy your inputs and click run. That's it. You don't need to worry about which model is running behind this. The fine-tuning happen, the model focus, the design prompting, the iteration examples, everything is custom. So you just need to select your file, your profile for the virtual technical expert. So let's say you want to do, cybersecurity expert. You want to ask for something. Let's say, give me your technical approach to this requirement, and then you copy here the requirement. In this case, I'm going to use some demo content from RFP that is about websites, and then you select the length of the response you want, and you click submit. And what you're going to get is the response from this virtual cybersecurity expert telling you, how to approach this particular requirement from the cybersecurity point of view. We're not going to review, the results. If you are curious, we have a free trial open, so you can just go to the website and play with all the tools you are seeing now. Like the whole kit is available for free trial. But I wanted to touch on something here, because I was telling you that it's very important to provide like clear instructions. Like if you would go here and tell it like summarize this text or give me, winning themes for my proposal, you're not going to get very relevant responses, because these models have been focused. This tool has been focused on playing the role of a technical expert. So it's very important to give relevant instructions while you would ask to a technical expert. And also, it's important you select the right one, because like for what you want, like if you are talking to an expert, let's select the one you want to talk to. Otherwise, you're gonna get a response, but it's gonna maybe make no much sense. For example, if you ask the same question to a healthcare expert, the AI for this healthcare expert is gonna provide you some response, but probably it's going to start mixing like how to take into account the healthcare of your employees for the website development. And maybe that's not what you want. And maybe it is, and you want this healthcare point of view on your project. That would be great. But if, it's important to select the model that you are actually trying to leverage or sort of thinking your virtual technical expert relevant for what you're trying to do. And again, the same I was telling you, it's here in a disclaimer in the tool, because it's important to take into account that the hallucinations with this use case are worse than what you get with the writing tools or the agents or whatever other tool you use. And so always keep in the loop your human people, your real technical experts. Okay, so this is what I wanted to share. Like just write 15 minutes, and now we can move to basically the questions. I plan to answer questions as long as you have any, and we will keep this live open for your questions. Again, if you are interested in this space, like in proposal, doing better at proposal, not only with technology but also with smart processes, how to deal with meetings, that's a hot one, etc. Go to jesscartin.com website, and I run a newsletter there. I send a couple of emails every week with some insights and free resources. And also, if you want to play with these tools, with the kit, with the virtual SMEs we have just seen, but also if you want to, to do writing, do editing, do agent-like work with AI for proposals, and that's a hot, also a hot one, the agent applicability of AI in proposals. I will probably do a live event in the future about that. So go to deeprp.com for a free trial, and you can try everything for free, even including the most advanced top models. Those are like focused more for complex technical responses.